Brethren, peace has always been among the highest values of humanity and has remained the greatest want of man. If there is anything that man will enjoy most and what man will desire all the days of their life, I think is peace. For some, peace is supreme, only next to God. There are some things which we need to consider. The worst of peace is better than the best of just war. There is no bad peace and there is no good war. So which means to maintain and follow peace is very pivotal if we'll be able to achieve anything, be it political, economic or social. Without peace, you cannot do anything. If there is no peace in this country, we cannot gather together for DIFCOM. In our respective locations, if we don't have peace, it will be absolutely difficult for us to do and to move ahead. No wonder the Bible teaches that we should follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man will see the Lord. Follow peace, then the added holiness. These two things, they are prerequisites if we are going to see the Lord. Invariably, what the Bible is trying to tell us is that we need to become an agent of peace. Wherever we find ourselves, we let people know that we are for peace. That doesn't mean we are docile. That doesn't mean we are stupid. Some people may look at it and say you are too gentle. You always follow peace. It's a big strength. It's one of the virtues in Christendom that we need to quickly understand if at all we need to go further. As a matter of fact, there has never been a good war or a bad peace. The cause for peace is considered nobler than the cause for justice. Because there is no way, if you've taken somebody to court, whether you win or you lose, it will be absolutely difficult for you to become friends. Except there is powerful indwelling power of the Holy Spirit in you. You may not be able to fellowship with that person anymore. And that is why it is very, very important at this time. We are facing a world that seems to be experiencing more and more unrest. The latest with us is the Hamas and Israel war. Hamas woke the sleeping lion, and then we can testify to what is happening everywhere now. People of God, we have seen cases where, even in a case like the Hamas and Israel, the thing will transfer to other places. Churches will be burnt, houses will be destroyed, simply because there is no peace in a particular place. We need to know the effects of the last few months. I've seen health unrest, economic unrest, social unrest. Yet, in the midst of this unrest, there is a promise Jesus made to his disciples, which is much needed today. Yet, the Lord told them, not minding the degree of unrest, the degree of so many turbulent things, in John 14, we can see it clearly. Peace I live with you. We just read this some minutes ago. For us to have a proper understanding of what we are trying to put across to us, let us try to see what we can call peace, the meaning of peace. The word peace has a contextual understanding, both in biblical interpretation and literary usage. We shall try to consider the two of them so that we'll be able to get the nitty-gritty of our discourse. And then we'll be able to see if we are agents of peace or not. Peace I live with you, among other things. It has so many implications. There is little agreement on what peace really is. Perhaps the most popular view is an absence of dissension, absence of violence, absence of war. A meaning found in the New Testament and possibly an original meaning of the Greek word for peace, Irene, peacemakers, have adopted this interpretation. But to them, all violence is bad. There is no violence that is good. This meaning is widely accepted among ethnologists and students of international relations. It is the primary dictionary definition. Peace, however, is seen as a concord or harmony and tranquility. It is viewed as peace of mind or serenity. It is defined as a state of law or civil government, a state of justice or goodness, a balance or equilibrium of powers. I'm sure you will agree with me that right now, peace is what we need, even in our hearts and around us. With that in mind, this is a fantastic time to understand the meaning and context of John chapter 14, verse 27. Because if there is ever was a day, cry out for peace. It's imperative this is that day. As earlier mentioned, peace can mean the absence of conflict or trouble. While this is a definition of peace, it is quite uncertain that this is what Jesus was talking about here in John 14, verse 27. This peace that Jesus was talking about means rest, quietness within or stillness in our hearts. It is not the absence of trouble, but it exists in spite of the trouble. So the peace we are trying to talk about is not the one the UN, United Nations, can give to us. It's not the one the OAU can give to us. It's not the one the ECOWAS can provide and say, when you do this, there is going to be peace. The peace we are talking about in the biblical context is the peace that we will still be able to be quiet, to be humble, to be still, even in the presence of heavy provocation. When we have problems, we have challenges, then we are able to maintain ourselves. We have not lost radius of focus. We still stand and we believe that because God is with me, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.